Welcome to the Navy SEALs introduction video. Act of Valour is one of those films where it's very kind of unique, and it's probably one of the most unique films of 2012. And what kind of makes it unique? Well, they're actually using real Navy SEAL operatives. So these are like real people. They have like no acting experience whatsoever. This is like their first like maybe film, but to be honest, they're doing it to show, you know, how things run, how they should run, and all that. So, but we've got to remember this is a film, so we've got to treat it kind of like a film. So let's kind of get to the plot of the whole story. Now, the story goes, there's this terrorist attack. It's just the usual thing, like terrorists, doing some like bombing and trying to sort of, and then they bomb one sort of place, and then they sort of kidnap someone. So it's their kind of mission to kind of, trying to rescue the person, but also kind of stop this terrorist act. And I think this is kind of something that has happened. So it's quite sort of unique in how it's kind of portrayed through the film. Now what's good about the film? Well, there's actually quite a lot of things to be good about. Like, action films these days are kind of like, they always be like a one-man shooting spree. So it's like one man, and they can kill like literally a lot of people, a lot of explosions. They literally make kind of a bloody mess. This, you actually see the value of teamwork, how they approach things, how they do it, and it's very unique. And a good interesting note, not also were they using real Navy SEALs, but they were using the equipment that they were using probably at that time, or even available. It's probably even more upgraded now. But they were using the same tactics that they would use. They were also using live ammunition. That's actually really kind of brave there, but again, a total sort of praise for it. Other good thing is a couple of good set pieces there and there, and it goes into like the sort of first person view, and it's not like sort of Doom or like kind of like when they go first person. It's kind of like they use it pretty well in this film, so that's kind of really good. What's bad about the film? I've got to say it. It's not really interesting. I'm sitting there, and I went to see this film after like a long shift from work, but even still at that, I kind of felt like I was like dozing off because it just wasn't going forward enough, or it just felt like it was just dragging in, and I think it's a bit too long. Like, they should have cut it to about like 90 minutes or so, because this is just going to be just like a sort of wee action flick of 2012, and maybe a lot of people are not going to remember it after maybe next year or a couple of years. But I have saved the best for last, because what's actually ugly about this film? Now, I've heard about this, and I was really sceptical, wondering, is it really that bad? And it is that bad. The acting is terrible in this film. Before the film started, we got this kind of wee sort of like intros, and it was saying that they felt that actors wouldn't show the real emotion, and they used real Navy SEAL operatives, and I think that's fine. But the thing is, it seemed as though the last time they acted was either back in high school, kindergarten, primary, whatever at point they were acting, because the acting is terrible. Acting should be kind of like this, kind of like a sort of graph going up and down, showing emotions. Their graph is kind of like it's like a straight line, and the facial expressions are just the same. These guys take it way too serious, and when they're actually trying to have a little laugh, it just never seems like it just seems a bit forced, and I felt that really hurt the film so much. Like, when these guys are doing the missions, that is when I love them. It's when they're not doing the missions and they're talking, it's like, please stop talking. You're not making it better. And there's like a narration throughout the whole film. And I've got to say, that scene, that's still terrible, because it's the same voice. Like, these guys are serious, right? But the thing is that you need actors, because that's like saying I'm going to be in like the next Twilight film, which is probably could happen, if they ever did a remake, because have you ever seen like Twilight these days? It just seems to be terrible. Although that's another point for another video. But yeah, it's just like you really need really strong actors. Like you need strong actors to help these guys through, because I felt as though like if they had maybe strong actors or experienced actors, maybe they would have been showing a bit more emotion. Now before I get to the kind of score, I will say this, I will buy this on Blu-ray, but I won't go rush out my way to go and buy it. I'll probably wait until it goes down in price really low, like until it's under like £10 or something. But I'm going to give this score a good score. The only thing that really saves it are the missions and how they approach it. That's kind of how it kind of saves it. But for numbers' sake, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, because I don't think a lot of people are going to like it, or they're going to like it but they're going to really complain about it. And before I go, again, this is another film that came out maybe about a month ago in America, and we're only just getting it here in the UK. I mean, come on. This is not on. I can't be having this all the time. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.